much. Very honored to be here tonight. Honored to be standing at the podium, a candidate for governor of the great state of Tennessee. It's a great privilege. When Maria and I started this campaign over a year ago, we bought an old RV, we wrapped it up to look nice, and we decided to run the most aggressive grassroots campaign in Tennessee. And we went to 95 counties in 95 days. And that sounded like a really good idea at the time. And it was a good idea, wasn't it, Maria? I want to acknowledge my wife, Maria. She has been God's gift to me. And many of you have met her, and she's a remarkable woman, and she has driven, yes. She has ridden tens of thousands of miles in an RV. She drove in a pickup truck and followed a tractor from Mountain City to Memphis. And she has stood beside me the whole way, and I thank you, Maria. 9 years ago, I had the privilege of standing before you as the chairman of this dinner, the chairman of the 2009 Statesmen's Dinner. And our party was in a really unique place historically. Barack Obama had just become the president of the United States. And people in America were waking up to the reality of what his administration was about to inflict on our country and on our culture. And I remember this dinner and thinking back on it and how our party had come together in unity. And we were unified around a cause because there was a Democrat in charge in Washington and there was a Democrat in charge in Nashville. And yet that night, many of you in this room came together and we raised one of the largest amounts of money this state party had ever seen, had ever raised. And that money was used as seed money for Republican candidacies all across this state. And the next year in 2010, Tennessee was controlled by the GOP and we have never looked back. In 2016, this nation woke up again. But thankfully, we woke up to a president who came from outside of government, who was not a politician, who was an outsider. A president who cared more about the future of his country than he cared about the future of his political career. President Donald Trump created a new day in America, and it is a new day. And it's a new day in Tennessee as well. But in spite of the optimism, and we certainly should be optimistic because of the things that we've accomplished, in spite of the optimism, we have some real challenges in front of us. In business, we know that good is the enemy of great. I run a company of 1,200 employees, 1,200 skilled tradespeople. I've lived a life of skilled tradespeople and know how important that is to this state. But we all know in our company that no matter how well we are doing, we can never rest. As the CEO of that company, I have to constantly be looking and asking questions. Can we do this differently? Can we do it better? Is there something more that we can do? And that's what a leader does. And I think Tennessee's in a similar spot. We're in a really good place. But if Tennessee really wants to reach her highest potential, then we have to be willing to challenge the status quo in every part of this state. I have traveled to every corner. And for me, it's simple. No matter where you live, whether you live in Mountain City or Memphis, or anywhere in between, people want a good job. They want a good school for their kid. They want a safe neighborhood. And while we have good jobs in many places across our state, we do have 15 counties in poverty. And they're rural counties, and I'm a product of rural Tennessee, a cattle farmer. I'm deeply involved in the ag industry. We have to do better than that, and we can do better than that. Good job, good school for your kid. While we have made great advances in education, we're still in the bottom half of states in America. And while you might live in a safe neighborhood, violent crime has risen in places all across this state. Now make no mistake, we live in a remarkable state, and we have had remarkable leadership. And yet, we have to continue to challenge the status quo. The next governor has to believe that as good as Tennessee is, good is the enemy of great. And has to believe that Tennessee can lead the nation, and we can lead the nation. We can lead in America if we are willing to challenge the status quo. And if we are willing to remember that there is a big difference between leadership and politics. Now you've heard from a field of politicians tonight, each with their own individual strengths. But I've come to realize that Tennesseans want a conservative, and they want an outsider. And I'm the only candidate that can bring both, and I would be honored to serve you as your governor, and I would be honored to have your vote. Thank you very much.